Welcome back in, everybody.
Hi, Hop.
Knows the music?
Oh, nice.
Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Just joining us. We were just talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of practice routine. We were just talking about golf clubs at the end of it, was it?
Golf, yeah.
For you?
Yeah.
Purchasing golf clubs?
Clubs. Well, we were talking about, people blaming the club and trying all new stuff. Why, that's part of their practice routine.
Yeah.
It's got to be the wedge, got to be the putter, it's got to be this and that. Instead of developing a habit, they're changing clubs to see if they can't find that temporary Band-Aid, if you will. So it's kind of funny because I have a lot of putters, but I've only putted with a few. Right? I've in my whole life, I've only putted with a handful of putters, and I always come back to some of them. But I own hundreds and lefties because of that. I must have 25 lefty putters just because I collected them. I'd find them at stores or places. But I don't putt with that many.
I think I've owned 4 putters my entire life.
And you're a good putter, so you shouldn't be messing around
I've
with
had
putters.
a Ping Answer, and from the Ping Answer, I went to the Slazenger, which when we used to make them at Avila Beach.
Is that the one you still putt with? No, you have a
And then I went to a Scotty Cameron.
That's not the one I'm thinking of.
And
yes.
I had an Odyssey, and then I went to a Yes.
Yeah, you still putt with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and they don't even make that anymore.
Yeah, that's
and
one you've been putting out for a while.
Which is really disappointing because I love.
Well, you're a great putter. You'll never need another putter. You're a great putter.
Sometimes.
So good habits. We talked about bads and uglies, and if you listened, I hope that you take heed to some of these things. And I know there's people listening that they do that. It's very common. I see it all the time. Some of the things we mentioned. But what's good practice habits, guys? What do you think people should be doing in their practice routines?
I'll tell you one thing. If you have a problem that you can't solve, go to a professional and have them help you. Because for you to go out and keep trying to fix it in different ways is only going to make it worse. That's my...
Well, and I agree with that in one way and not in another. I think the only way anybody ever learns is through self-discovery. A pro can guide you to discovery.
Right, exactly.
So you might need the right roadmap to get you to that discovery. So I agree there, because if you don't have the roadmap, you're going to be lost.
Because
GPS, GPS, Golf Pro systems. You have a good GPS. Ooh, come up with that, man. Golf Pro.
Wow.
We'll use the GPS. Golf Pro services. Oh, sorry, is this taping? Oh, man. Because, and a guide, because, this is what's happening to the ball, or this is what feels like. Well, why don't you try a few of these things, but you only own it. You can't learn anything until you own it, right? You don't learn until you've done it.
What happens a lot is that you think you're doing something and you're not.
Right.
You think you're coming inside out, or you think you're doing this, and so you think, oh, I'm doing that too much. I have to do this. And it turns out you're not doing that at all. You just in your mind think that. You need someone to look at you.
And then you got your 3 buddies that are telling you
exactly, exactly.
Right, and you go out and hit a whole bucket of ash.
Exactly.
You're right. I agree 100%.
The other part about that,
good advice is good. Seek good advice.
I mean, I know you've had people look at your swing. I have people look at my swing because you can't
see it yourself.
My
can't
guy
see
quit
yourself
right after he saw my swing.
Yeah, but you can't see yourself.
Right.
Like you think you can, but you can't.
Right.
And video, you know how I feel about video, so I won't even go there.
Your swing's fine.
But I mean, I feel like video is good for the instructor to slow down things and see, but a player can't see themselves swing and shouldn't see themselves swing because you can't think as fast as cameras work. So you can't, you freeze yourself. Well, here I am at the top. I should be here at the top. Yeah. Or you say how you drop your hands here. And people, if you think that during a swing, you're done.
But here's the other part about that too. Like when you talk about backswing.
But coaches need video.
Like everybody's different. Flexibility and whatnot. Sure. You can't, if you're comparing yourself to Brooks Koepka or somebody like that, who's at the flexibility, like the guy,
I often
like a
do that.
rubber band man.
You think that's
you're
going
to hurt yourself?
I shouldn't be doing that.
No
wonder my neck hurts.
No wonder you had it surgery.
Really? So this Mike's right what you said. Remember I said you went right from the ladder to the top?
Yeah.
I believe, if possible, people should practice more on the course in real-life situations. Now, I know that if it's time-starved and you're just playing golf and you're not fortunate enough to be able to go out in the evenings when it's quiet and to practice on a course, that's difficult. So if you are lucky enough to do that, do it. And if not, do what you said. Play a golf hole on the range.
Yeah.
What am I hit? I'm only hit a driver, and you kind of see where it went. And my approach shot, if I was playing this hole in my mind, is going to be this. And you practice a few of those shots until you get the one you want, and then now that you're there, so practice, but practice real life situations,
right?
Instead of beating balls after ball after ball, and that's.
So I have another one. When you practice, everybody labels their clubs as a certain yardage. Everybody does it. I've done it
in their brain.
Yeah, I do it. I'm like, 8 iron, 150.
Wow, you're a stud.
It's like. No, it's not. It's 150, like 2 out of 10.
And then they listen to
3 out of
TV and they're
10.
hitting 8-iron 210.
When you're
Right, those tour players, you're like, come on.
Like when you're practicing, take it down a club.
Absolutely.
Like instead of 150, go or take it up the club, however you look at it. If your 8 is you think is your 150, start practicing with your 7-iron to hit 150, and do the same thing and kind of just back off the pedal a little bit.
This is exactly the bullet. It says don't try to hit 100% with every shot when you're in the range, because you're not going to swing that. So you don't want to go after everything with your full max distances.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying. If you swing it at 80% and you learn that yardage, you can adjust for adrenaline and stuff like that when you're playing. But people swing at 100% and get on the golf course, go to 110, and they're out of control.
Yeah, and
They're out of control because they don't know how to swing inside themselves. They're swinging, and that's great advice.
The other part that's
swing
really
full on.
interesting is I don't know if you get this a lot, Billy, but a lot of people think that the only way to swing a short iron is full.
I know.
And it's like that's not true. Short irons are actually meant to be swung like 3/4. They're not meant to be. I mean, we talk about this with the lob wedge. I know some guys that are really good they swing their lob wedge 100% all the time. Like even if they're 30 yards from the green, they just hit as hard as they can and they manipulate things and flip the ball as high as they can up in the air. But that's not technically the only way to do it, and it's not really the way it was designed to do it.
It's hard to hit a wedge full, actually.
Actually,
and most people try
because it's too much spin and too high. So it's distance control is difficult when a wedge is moving fast.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is this full swing, like a golf swing, is not a golf swing unless it's full, which to most people is that it's parallel over the top of your shoulder blades, is totally false.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not.
And to
real.
that point, I've got some players, young kids that are like Owen and Jack, and that hit it really well. One of my best advices to them to discover is if they hit, their wedges are 120 or whatever they are, to hit 8 irons that distance. Yeah. And so you have distance control. Just learn hit 30 shots where your 8 iron only goes the same yardage as your full wedge does.
I love it.
And so they're like, well, but just do that. You'll start to develop some feel and some club face control.
Yeah.
And you have that shot if it's really windy or if it's something you want to take spin off the ball.
Yeah.
Deaden it, if you will. That's what tour players do. The distance control of tour players is phenomenal.
It's insane.
Distance control for the average player is just awful.
When we played with Jack at Santa Maria Country Club, I was thinking about this the other day. We because Jack hits the ball so far, like we were put in positions that I would never be in. So I had more of those kind of shots,
and you hit it far,
like backing off, shots. And I thought, yeah, I actually hit those shots pretty good. And I don't do that when I play.
Me, that's what I've been doing for years.
I know, but I don't practice that.
That would be a really good game if you go out and when you think, okay, this is an 8
2
iron.
2 clubs less.
You have to do 2 clubs more than what that is.
6 iron.
Or,
yeah.
Depending how you look on it.
Exactly.
More.
Yeah, and that's the game. We should play that game, Mike.
Yeah, but then our brains are going, well, it's really only 160. But it's fun. I agree with that. And what the most important thing, in my opinion, is you have to just with a purpose, to have a specific goal.
Right.
Which means a time limit and some kind of a quantity of shots.
Yeah.
If it's a small bucket or if it's 40 balls or whatever. But I'm going to do this specifically for 30 minutes only.
Yeah.
And try to do the same thing, with 30 and stop.
Right.
That's people have. They just
that's a hard thing to do.
It is, but
it's really hard.
But you can have 2 goals. You could do that for 30 minutes and go putt 10 footers for 10 minutes.
So I have a question.
So you know what I mean. But it needs to be specific. Otherwise, how are you developing if it's not?
Right.
I have a question for you. If you went out to the range every day, like we sell a $3 bucket with like 18 balls in it. What if you went out to the range every day and only hit 18 balls?
I'd love it. I think you'd be better.
With a 7 iron or an 8 iron. And then, like you said, you go straight to the putting.
You'd be better.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We want to thank McGowie Health Group for partnering with us on Golf Talk Radio. Give them a shout, 805-461-8822. HealthySlowCounty.com is the website. Thank you, Dr. Ryan. We'll be right back with Clubbing with Dave right on the other side. You're listening to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy on the Golf Talk Radio Network.
I think the other